welcome to This Week in the Studio. I'm Amy Nicole and I'm coming to you this week from sunny and cool South Texas. Lots going on in the studio as always. I was finally able to take a good chunk of pics for my blog last week, so be looking out for some new posts in the next few weeks. I also worked on a very fun collaboration of sorts that I'm doing with Katie of Katie Cortman Art, and I'm so excited to show you guys. Hopefully we will be able to post that later this week. So very fun. I almost finished this Lakeside Pajama Set. This pattern is by Grainline Studio, and this is a gift for my sister for her birthday. She doesn't watch this, so it's okay that I'm telling you about it. She asked for some cute PJs, so I had recently made myself a Lakeside, if you remember, a few weeks ago, so I already still had the pattern out, and I thought it would be perfect for her. And since it is the year of slow sewing, I needed to look through my stash for something that I thought A, she would like, B, was suitable for some cute pajamas, and C, I didn't mind parting with because last year for her birthday I made her a dove top. I'll post a picture of it somewhere, in this amazing fabric that I found on an estate sale, and I'm still kind of sad that I got rid of that fabric, but I love my sister. So this fun space print chiffon I have loads of. I got it from a designer I used to work for, so using some of it is like not a problem unless I just want to make a whole capsule wardrobe out of this space print, which would not be a horrible idea. So oh my gosh, that does not want to stay up. So the top, since this is for someone else, I probably won't be doing a full blog post about it, so I'm just going to tell you guys about it. The top, I cut the back. Chiffon is sheer, as you know, so I didn't line the back, so when she wears it, she's going to have some fun sheer detail. I used a black bias tape that I had made out of some, not chiffon, what's that other thing that I can never remember? Not chiffon, not organza. This word always escapes me. Anyways, some bias tape that I had from another project. I'll remember it later. And then the front I of course lined with some navy lining I had on hand. So this gift was entirely made out of stuff I had on hand. And then the shorts I of course fully lined, and they have the really cute side detail. I'm really happy with the way they turned out. I hope she likes them. The chiffon is nice and soft, so it'll be good for sleeping. And then I just need the elastic, so I had to order that. My year of slow sewing is not limited to notions, otherwise I would not be making anything, because my notions stash is not as good as my fabric stash, unfortunately. But I am starting to order things in bulk when I need them, so that I'm not, since I live quite far from any kind of fabric store, so that I do have a decent stash of some commonly used notions. For instance, 1 1/4 inch elastic, which is a pretty common width for waistbands. I am going to order a whole roll of it so that I have that stashed, because I also need some for my peppermint shorts, which I don't have the fabric because it's in the laundry bin getting ready to be washed. But this is a free pattern from Peppermint Magazine. They're the spring shorts. They have a super cute little paper bag waist, and I will be making these in a really beautiful chambray that I got last year or so. I won a gift card to Style Maker Fabrics from an Instagram challenge, and this chambray is something that I got, and it's like so beautiful that I've been afraid to touch it, but I was like, you know what, it just hit me. I was looking at these shorts on my Instagram feed and I was like, do I want to make those? I think I want to make those. What do I have that I could use to make those? And then that chambray popped into my mind and I couldn't get it out of my head. And honestly, the chambray is a top weight, and or I could make a dress out of it. I have 2 yards, so it was hard for me to just make this, which only takes probably 1 yard, out of something that takes 2 yards, that I have 2 yards of. But I don't see myself making a dress out of it. So my dresses are usually more like bright and colorful, and this is just a solid denim colored chambray. So I'm going to make these shorts, and I'm hoping to have some left over to make a cute top and do a little matching set. I'm very into the matching sets. I'm also going to do some slow sewing details on this, so I'm sure I'll be posting about it in my stories, and I'll of course have a video of that when I'm done. So this, I might get to work on this week, I might not. More on that in a second. Let's see, what else do we have here? In my sewing club this month, we've been doing kind of like themes. I don't know if I've told you guys about my sewing club, but I met another girl in town, or I knew another girl in town who also sewed, and she's wanting to be getting more into garment sewing, so we started meeting up every Tuesday night to sew together, and it's been so lovely. And starting the new year, we decided to do a themed month, so we're kind of working on similar projects. So last month we both made York pinafores, and this month we are working on undies and bras for a February theme. So I have a lot of stuff cut out that I haven't finished sewing. I did the Barrett bralette a while back. I'll post a picture. That is a Madeline Intimates pattern. I used her kit, and I actually had a lot left in the kit for more stuff, so I'm going to make some more matching undies with that. Those are already cut out. I'm hoping to copy one of my sports bra patterns to make another sports bra, because all my sports bras are getting stretched out. It's very embarrassing. And then I'm hoping to use all of my knit scraps to make a full batch of new undies and just phase out all my other ones. You know, when it's just like time to phase out your undies. So that is something else that is going on. I have a stack of tailoring to do this week. This is my first like big stack of tailoring for the year. And it's not even that big. It's let me see. It's just a couple pairs of pants, 1, 2, 3 pairs of pants and a top. So I'm actually going to try to tackle this today. Mondays are typically my paperwork days, but I do try to squeeze in some sewing in the morning before I get started on the bookkeeping and paperwork and all that kind of stuff. So I want to try to knock those out here shortly. You may have seen on my Instagram stories that I made a little diaper for my little Buttons. She is going into her first heat soon, so I just wanted to be prepared for that. She's becoming a woman, and I think dog diapers look so ridiculous, so I was like looking on Etsy for one that didn't look ridiculous, and this pattern from Sophie and Friends on Etsy has a cute little skirt over it, which just really adds a little bit of dignity to the whole situation. So I just love it. This was completely made from scraps from my stash. Yay, the year of slow sewing. And same with the Velcro was from my stash, the elastic, everything. It has a cute little hole for her tail. I put it on her, if you've seen my Instagram stories the other night. She's not in love, but you know, it's a necessity. So this is that. So for any dog people out there, if you have questions, we do plan on getting her fixed. But she was the runt, and she's super small, and so we want to wait a while. They say, you know, if you get them fixed before their first few heat cycles, that can really help them to develop and grow. So we are going to wait on that. So doggy diaper. She thinks it's a toy every time I get it out, and then when I put it on her, she's not really happy about it. So sorry. Something else I've been working on for the year of slow sewing, I told you guys I was going to be doing some fun projects with my scraps. And if you saw on my Insta stories, I recently went through my entire scrap bin, divided it into color categories, and was planning on doing a fun project with them. So I started with the bag that had the color that had the most scraps in it, and that is the cool, dull is such a sad word, but cool, muted tones, I should say. So I've been going through that pile and squaring off all of my scraps. So they're in there and they're all weird shapes just from being cut and just thrown into the bin. So I've been giving them all straight squared edges, and my grand idea was to sew them all, to quilt them together in a random pattern and use that fabric to make garments. And in my head, it won't look crazy because they're all in the same color story, and I was going to use these garments, sell them in my Etsy shop, wear them. But it's not very economical because it takes a lot of time. I do it while I'm watching TV and stuff, which is fun. But as far as like if I were to actually time it out and factor in the price per yard into my pricing for my Etsy shop, I don't know how that would work out. So I don't know if I need to just like skip the squaring process or not be so precise about it and just like straight line. I'm going for like a zero waste Daniel kind of idea, and I don't know how they go about that to make it more efficient. If you know anything about this or have any sort of input, I would love to hear it in the comments below. And I'll link to Zero Waste Daniel if you're not familiar with him. Very inspirational. So that is my current like big year of slow sewing, super slow project. I'm a little less than halfway through the bag, so I feel like when I'm done, I mean this is like a pretty significant stack. I feel like when I'm done I'll have a decent amount of yardage of this, so I don't know, we'll see. Alright, things are going haywire. This week I plan on squaring some more scraps. I am making a patty pocket skirt for my lovely cousin who's a graphic designer, and you've seen her work if you've ever bought one of my patterns because she designed all of my pattern instructions. And I have this really beautiful, it's not a twill, this really beautiful striped woven, and this is, I believe, from Style Microfabrics. I got it a long time ago. So I've been meaning to knock this out for her forever, and I'm finally getting around to cutting it, since with the year of slow sewing I don't have like specific sewing plans, so I'm trying to knock out some things that I've been putting off in order to meet my own self-inflicted sewing deadlines. So that is something I'm going to be sewing this week. And check my list. I already told you guys about my peppermint shorts. I will be working on the February newsletter, and I'm starting a new series in that next week, so hopefully it'll be going out to you next week. So be sure that you are subscribed because I think it's going to be a really fun year on the newsletter and you don't want to miss it. Link is of course below. I'm also going to be updating you on how the year of slow sewing has been going, And if you make one of my patterns, I introduced this last month in the newsletter, I always feature a stitcher of the month of someone that's made one of my patterns that just did an amazing job. And I'm starting to, from now on, if you are the stitcher of the month, you will get a coupon code to use in my shop. So very exciting. So the way you could possibly do this is make sure that when you make one of my patterns, any of my patterns, be sure to use the hashtag for the pattern so that I can find it. Tag me. I am always checking those hashtags, but it'll be guaranteed not to be lost if you tag me as well. And I will not be like reaching out to you. So the only way you'll know that you won is if you stay subscribed to the newsletter and keep an eye out for that. So, and then you can contact me and be like, hey, that's me. And then I will give you a coupon code. So very, very, very fun stuff in the newsletter this year. Lastly, my weekly crush. I have 2 weekly crushes this week in light of all of the amazing educational, inspirational conversations that have been going on social media involving inclusivity in the sewing world. I have 2 great things to share with you. The first one is the @MeetMakersOfColor Instagram account. This was started by Max, I can never say this, Max Makespace. It's like a tongue twister. And @SoFlow, and this is an amazing account that introduces every week, I think, or a day, a new maker of color that they think is amazing that you should follow, and there's some really brilliant makers over there, so be sure to follow that account. The second is @Cashmerette, which you all know. Jenny Rushmore, her amazing plus size pattern line, has created a story highlight for sizing help. This is applicable to sewists of all sizes, and it's super informational and helpful. If you've ever struggled with picking a pattern size based on the chart that's given to you by the pattern designer, or if you've ever struggled with measuring yourself, any kind of feelings surrounding that, she really just goes deep in with a lot of information surrounding that. So be sure to check out, that is on @Cashmerette's Instagram story highlights. So those little circles on your Instagram profile, she has one called Sizing Help. It's right at the front right now, so don't miss that. And that is it in the sewing studio this week. I feel like, whew, exasperated. So thank you so much for joining me this week. As always, I hope to see you next week. If you like this video, please sure to give it a thumbs up, comment below, share it with your friends, and as usual, make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss the next video. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy